How you doing? Once again, this is Black Shy Guy here with the brand new podcast episode. I've been busy, folks. I've been busy, as all of you may know, people who have been following me from day one and from the last couple of podcast episodes. I am moving, so there's a lot of things going on. So I know I'm behind an episode. I know I missed a day. It is what it is. Sometimes life just happens and you miss an episode. But I am here today to give you the latest episode of this season. And a lot of things has happened. A lot of things has happened. And I want to discuss them. Obviously, I can't get to all of them. Let's be logical here. I can't get to all of them. But I'm going to try to break down as many as possible, which will only be two. But I am going to talk about a couple of them out of random. You know what I mean? Out of random. We got the Republican debate coming up. I don't know how many of you guys are watching that, but you should be watching that. It's a very interesting upcoming debate. Obviously, Donald Trump will not be in it, unfortunately, because I would have really liked to see him debating the rest of the Republicans that are up there. So that's very unfortunate that Donald Trump will not be in that debate on Wednesday night Eastern at 9 p.m. Make sure you check it out. It will be airing on Fox News. But before we get to the rest of the subjects, as always, I thank you for sitting at my table. And like I said, couple of things happen. One thing I am happy about, right? One thing I am happy about is that girl, that drunk driver who did 100 miles an hour was finally sentenced. I don't think she was sentenced, but basically she was guilty for killing her boyfriend and for killing her boyfriend's friend, running the car 100 miles an hour to a brick wall. And they have video surveillance of her doing it the night before the incident. Basically, she was practicing to die. And she took two people, not with her, but took two people out. It's absolutely crazy that this young female tried to take herself out along with two other people that had no freaking choice in the matter when it came to her actions that night. That changed the families, that changed three families' lives forever. I hope she gets life. I hope she doesn't see the outside of a jail cell. I hope she doesn't. I don't want her to ever see the outside of a jail cell whatsoever. At all. And there are reports, there are reports that there will be a possible close down of certain cities again because of mandates and etc. Listen, there's no way that's going to happen. I mean, I know there's a lot of people saying it is going to happen. A lot of people are stuck on the fact that it's going to happen. There's no way out of it or whatever. But listen, for you to shut down the city again it will be so detrimental to a lot of people's lives. This country is just running my mind ragged. It's just crazy the things this country is willing to do in the hands of the Democrats. I'm sorry. It's just crazy what this country is willing to do. And we all know what happened in Maui with the fire. We all know what happened there. We have idiot Biden not even paying attention to what's happening in Maui because that speech he gave about basically having sympathy for the victims in Maui, because there was one time in his life that he almost lost his 67 Corvette, whatever car he had or whatever the case may be. That speech was so dumb. How are you going to compare a vehicle to people's lives, to people who lost family members who were burnt alive? Listen, I swear, If I see any of my friends voting for this guy, if I see any of my friends voting for this guy, that's their ass. Seriously, that is their ass. Okay? We're going to be sometimes friends after that. Sometimes friends. Because I can't see the logic of actually making this guy president again. He's lost. He's delusional. He has no awareness. I just don't see this man functioning correctly as president. Least of all for himself. I just don't get what the people who are honestly thinking about voting for him, I don't get what they see. Because you can't have brain cells if you really think Biden can continue running this country. You can't have a brain cell in your brain. You cannot have a functioning brain cell if you think Biden could continuously run this country for the next 4 years if he's voted again as president. I just don't see it. I don't. But let's get to someone who's not going to be in the Republican debate, unfortunately, and that's Larry Elder, who was at the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, who made a fool of themselves. Listen, and I'm not going to play the whole interview. I'm not going to play the whole interview. Absolutely not. I'm not. I am not. But you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the part that basically showcases the brain cells that do not function within the Breakfast Club. Because obviously Charlemagne, DJ Envy, obviously when it comes to political situations, they're idiots. I just don't see the reasoning behind constantly trying to make black people victims. I don't know why you always want to remind people, hey, we're victims, we're victims. Remember, we're victims, we're victims. What do you get out of that? What do you get out of that? So we're going to dive into the middle portion of this fiasco because I'm going to dive into what really showcased the stupidity behind the Breakfast Club and the way they think. Okay? When facts are put in front of you and you're still as delusional as the Bride of Chucky, despite the evidence being shown and not shown to you, told to you that you can actually look up and it's true, and you still continuously repeat the same remark over and over, hoping for some odd reason that it will stick and become true. I just don't understand it. Let's continue with the Breakfast Club, who Larry Elder was on, discussing systematic racism, fatherless in Black America, and presidential Biden. But like I said, we're going to discuss a certain part in this interview that shows the delusional mindset of the Breakfast Club.
I don't follow exactly what you're saying. I really don't.
It's okay. I don't
Okay.
expect you to.
Yeah,
but it's
I'm
one
a
moment.
little slow
one
sometimes.
moment. One moment. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
One moment you're complaining about the system, and the next minute you're saying the system is fair. The next minute you're saying it's not fair. So that's what I'm saying. There just seems to be a double standard on you and the system, not wanting to be accountable for a system that black people are not in charge of. By the way,
Remember that line. The system that black people are not in charge of. Remember that line, okay? Because it's going to play a very, very important part in the rest of this exchange.
Of not wanting to hold both sides accountable when it comes to the system.
Do I believe Hillary
all.
was treated differently and Joe Biden treated differently than Donald Trump is being treated? Yes, I do. Is that an indictment about whether or not America is systemically racist? No, it is not. Those are
They're two totally different
things. Yes,
you're
yes, they
trying
are.
to merge the two, but they're two totally different things.
I agree with you. They're
But
two
it is
different
still the
things.
system.
No,
It is
no,
still-
we're
it is still
agreeing.
the
We're
system.
agreeing. They're two different things. We're agreeing.
No, we're agreeing to different things. We're not agreeing that there's not systematic racism because we're not in charge of the system, sir. In case you
Okay, all right,
about
all right.
the system. Black people
can-
have never been in charge of any system.
Black people have never been in charge of any system. Black people have never been in charge of any system. Can you believe she says something that stupid? Let's continue.
We're
Well,
not even- even that vein.
actually, we have been. Take Baltimore.
No,
We're-
we've never been in charge of
may I
any
finish?
system. Tell me, what financial system are black people in
Okay,
charge of?
let's
What
take-
healthcare system are black people in charge of? What government system are black people in
I'm
charge of?
about ready to tell
what
you.
prison system are black
I'm
black people in
I'm about ready to
charge?
tell you.
I'm not talking about mayors. I already know that talking point, sir. I go on Fox News all the time as well. So let's not go there with that. I said, what system have we created?
Goodness.
Have we implemented that we have been in charge of? Name one.
Is this why you don't like talking to black women, Larry Elder?
Wow. Baltimore. Freddie Gray a few years
No.
ago.
That's mayors. I'm not talking. I said system.
I'm
Remember,
going to
like
tell
the
you
word
about
system.
this system if you allow me to finish my point.
I'm not talking about somebody elected and doing a job, sir. I asked, what system did we create? What
How ignorant can you get? Larry Elder is better than me, but let's continue.
financial
Okay, let's
system
talk
did we
about the
create?
system of one of the
let him-
largest.
let him say his
Thank
point,
you.
man.
One of the systems of one of the largest cities in America, Baltimore. Freddie Gray died in police custody a few years ago.
Freddie Gray died in police custody years ago. Take note on how he continued to prove that black people not only was in charge of the system, but the majority of the leaders were black, which involves the system.
The mayor was black. The head of the police department was black. Number two,
It's not in charge of the system, but go ahead.
number two person in charge of the police department was black. All
Still
of,
not in
all,
charge of the
all of
system.
city council, Democrats, majority black.
Still not in charge of the system.
Wow.
That's a position.
6 officers charged, 3 of them were black. A judge before whom 2 of the officers tried their case found him not guilty was black.
Still not in charge of the system.
The city intendant of public schools was black. The county superintendent of public schools was black. The attorney general at the time, Loretta Lynch, is black, as was the president of the United States, was black. And yet,
Still
many
not in
people-
charge of the system.
who's in
I
charge of
asked
the
you a
system,
simple
Ted?
question, sir.
Well, Wanda Sykes said when Barack Obama got elected, how are you going to complain about the man when you are the man? Now, from the president to the attorney general to the state attorney to the mayor to the head of the police department to the commissions of the schools in the city and in the county to the majority of city council in that city, all of them are black. And you're still saying that we don't run anything?
I mean, can it get any more clear that we basically had a hold of the system? And she's still saying that black people were never in charge of any system. You have to be as delusional as a rat trying to find cheese in a trap. Wait a minute. There are cheese in the trap. But you know what I'm saying, huh? You gotta be so delusional. Your mind has to, I mean, in somewhat shape or form, not function for you to still declare that black people were not in charge of any system. The fact that Obama never, ever states that he's half white or anything like that, he always declares that he's black. The fact that there was, let's take it there, a fully black president, since Obama never wants to mention the other side, you're still going to say that black people were never in charge of any system? That you're just declaring it a position? Or it's just a position? A position that has power. You idiot. I don't know what else any race can do to be put in such a perfect position to be in charge and have the full say so of anything that happens government wise in a city or country, for the fact that we had all those positions and for this woman to still state that we were never ever in charge of any system is the Breakfast Club is just a debacle, is a joke. They always want to remind black people that we are victims. Remember, no matter what happens, no matter what success we have, we are victims. That's what they want. They want these young heads growing up to have a victim mindset. This is all the Breakfast Club preaches. This is all they want to preach about. They never want to let go of the past. Despite the fact that they never were imprisoned like the slaves of the past, they always talk about things need to be rectified or whatever the case may be because of the black people that were enslaved back then. They never want to let it go. They never want to let it go. That's why the Breakfast Club is such a joke. It's a joke. They remind me of SportsCenter. They do. Oh my God. But let's continue to our next conversation because thank God this has driven me bonkers. We're going to talk about something else here, right? We're going to talk about something else here. We all know that Fresh and Fit, the Fresh and Fit podcast has been demonetized, meaning they cannot make any money from anything they stream, from any super chats, any videos that people can rewatch it a million times. They're not getting no money off of that anymore. That's what demonetized means, meaning there's no money coming in, no matter how many views, no matter how many clicks, none of that. They're not getting any money from their videos. They have been removed from the YouTube partnership program. Removed. You can't even super chat them. Not one channel, every single one of their channels have been removed. And this is what I'm going to say about it. If you don't know who Fresh and Fit is, Fresh and Fit is two men, I believe, in their middle 20s, early 30s, and it could possibly be in the mid 30s. I don't know that, but I know they're not over the mid 30s. They talk about a lot of red pill stuff. All right. Do they disrespect ladies in the show? Yes, I have to admit they disrespect ladies in the show. But you got a lot of content creators coming out trying to make claims about this is why they got demonetized. This is the reason. I believe this is the reason. I'm sure this is the reason. Listen, no one knows why Fresh and Fit got demonetized. I don't know why content creators are coming out making assumptions. I guess everybody has assholes, so everybody's going to have an assumption to make about why Fresh and Fit got demonetized and why their channel is no longer going to be possibly available for any money making. You can watch it. They can continue streaming on YouTube, but they're not making any money off of it. So I guess their plan is to stream on YouTube to try to pry their fans over to Rumble. That's going to be very difficult because when a lot of people are really comfortable watching things in one channel, they basically get to watch all their content creators in one channel. It's going to be hard to pry them off to go to another application such as Rumble, especially the capabilities that YouTube have. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible. They can, because look at Andrew Tate and them. They are very successful in Rumble. They are very successful in Rumble. And maybe Fresh and Fit can find success in Rumble as well. So can't give up on them yet. You know what I mean? They may have, their fandom may travel with them. They may. I took a look at their channel so far. They don't have not even over 10K subs on their channel yet, which means obviously people are not transversing to Rumble. It's getting really difficult. To me, they have to stop completely streaming on YouTube and just stream on Rumble and see if they can get people to come over. They can put out small clips and say, hey, for those who didn't know, we did stream on Rumble last night. This is a small clip of what happened. And maybe people slow but surely will transverse and start watching them on Rumble and be fully committed to any time they come out live on Rumble. That's the only way. It's the only way. You got to get people in the habit to clicking on Rumble. And that's going to be very difficult, but it's not impossible. But let's get back to the matter at hand. A lot of content creators have assumptions. A lot of content creators are making fun of the fact that Fresh and Fit got demonetized. And this is what I'm going to say about the whole situation, in my opinion, on if Fresh and Fit deserve to be demonetized. Is it funny? Did they deserve it? And what's their possible future? Fresh and Fit, when they bring ladies onto their show, it's interesting. Like I said, plenty of times, for those who know my podcast, I said a lot of times that Myron is a very intellectual individual. He brings a lot of good points to a conversation. Fresh, to me, yes, I give him that. I didn't give him props in the past, but I do give him that. He can network. He's really good at networking. But the thing about their show is the antics really, really gets mixed up with the delivery, with the help they're trying to deliver to young men. The background noise Chris brings up while Myron is talking to the ladies, and the background noise that comes up and saying, when the background noise starts saying "shut up, bitch" and all of this and that, is very disrespectful to the ladies. Ladies that you chose to bring on the show. For you to play a background noise to a lady, even if they said something that's out of the ordinary. Yes, it can be really annoying when a lady starts saying things out of the ordinary and when they start not making sense. But to play a background noise to say "shut up, bitch" and all of that, calling them out of their name, and that's when the antics really start, because everybody in Fresh and Fit's podcast, especially in the background, starts laughing at them and this and that and the third. And then when the lady gets defensive and she starts getting loud, they want to kick her out. It's asinine. The antics gets really mixed up with the message you're trying to deliver to these young men. You're basically telling these young men it's okay to disrespect ladies. That's one thing I have to say. And a lot of young men may disagree because they love the antics, they love the jokes and stuff like that. But if Fresh and Fit chooses to bring ladies who have no conversational experience, they can't talk their way out of a conversation to save their ass at all. And when they start saying things out of the ordinary that don't make sense, why are you surprised? You pick these ladies out. You don't see Fresh and Fit picking out ladies that have who can actually bring an intellectual conversation. And when there's a lady that actually can bring an intellectual conversation, they bash on her. They bash on her. They don't allow her to talk. They're calling her a bitch. They're saying she's annoying. You wanted a combative conversation. You wanted an interesting conversation. But you choose to bash on the ladies who bring that. What I'm saying is, despite all of that, Fresh and Fit's show is entertaining. Their podcast is entertaining. Do they deserve to get demonetized? Free speech is under attack. And I know, a lot of people are going to be like, you know what I mean? We heard this before. I know what you got. All right. Okay. It's understandable. It's understandable. I mean, I know you guys heard it before and you guys are tired of hearing it. But what I'm saying, free speech is under attack. If Fresh and Fit, and this is me assuming as well, even though I just make an ass out of myself because I'm kind of assuming here, but I'm not, because I don't have any idea why Fresh and Fit got demonetized. But let's say they got demonetized for their free speech. It's wrong. It's wrong. Completely wrong. And the reason I say it shouldn't be celebrated is because Anybody on YouTube can get removed. Anybody. Anybody on YouTube can get removed. I have a YouTube channel, and obviously for those who follow me knows that I have a YouTube channel, but I'm barely active on it because I'm tired of the strikes that I got when I was doing the UFC coverage. I was tired of it. Every time I put up a video, there's a strike. Oh, you used this. You played so-and-so's song. You played Conor McGregor's song. Oh, wait a minute. You used a part of the interview that UFC Network did not want you to use. It was just, everything was a strike. So all that hard work put into the video, you edit it and then you put it up, because editing takes sometimes hours on end. And then you put it up, you're finally happy, you put it up, and for it to get a strike. It was annoying. So you gotta give content creators a lot of props, especially the ones that are successful. And for that all to be taken away, I don't think that's something to laugh at. Whether you're cool with them or not. Did Fresh and Fit do a lot of stupid shit? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. A lot of people are saying, well, they got removed because they started getting into the political parts of things. Yeah, they did. But I mean, yes, they did bring up a good point. Fresh and Fit did say is election season, so they probably don't want Fresh and Fit diving into that, trying to make every man who watches them a conservative, because we know how YouTube is with that. I'm not saying that was the case. I'm just saying that it could be a possibility. I'm not like these other content creators that, this is why, no. And they're also saying, no, that's not why. I don't think that's why they got demonetized. No, how? You don't know. I don't know at all why they got demonetized. But is it wrong to laugh at them? Absolutely. To kick a man who's down? Absolutely. No matter what beef you guys got. Like I said, they did a lot of stupid shit. They made a lot of unnecessary enemies for no reason. For no reason. They tried to take down a lot of channels. Absolutely. Was this karma for that? That I believe in. Karma is real. Maybe this is karma. Hey, you try to take a lot of people's channel down? Bong, here you go. And now it happened to them. And now they got to reap the rewards of what they did prior. And they got to face the consequences. I just don't think... I don't believe in kicking a man when he's down. Because when he rises back up, what you going to have to say then? Oh, well, I give him a pause for rising up. No, clown, you was making fun of them. Don't try to ease the pain now. Don't try to ease yourself now. You was making fun of them. Keep that same energy. Don't try to give them props now that they've risen from the dead for being down, because you was praising their demise. There are a couple of content creators that they make fun of them. I'm not going to name any of them because there were so many, so there's no point in me going through names. Just know there was content creators out there making fun of Fresh and Fit because they got demonetized, which is so detrimental to their production because their quality is going to go way down now. They're going to have to let go of some people, especially if they don't pop off on Rumble. If they don't pop off on Rumble, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be really bad for them. They better get on their grind. Not that they're on Rumble. They have to stream almost every day because they got to force people to hit that Rumble button, that Rumble application on their phone so people can go straight to Rumble and even super chat there. You have to break that habit of people going to your YouTube channel instead of your Rumble. That's why I believe they have to stop streaming simultaneously to Rumble and YouTube. They have to cut YouTube altogether out. Forget about the hope of possibly coming back on YouTube. Do not be a beggar. Do not. I understand that Myron shed tears during that stream. when he announced that they got demonetized. I believe that was the wrong move. You should not show any weakness. I don't even like the fact that he said that saving kids was good, but saving you guys were better. No, saving kids is always better. I would never pick saving men who, some of them, a lot of them, choose their own paths over saving kids who have no self-awareness of the world yet. So I disagree with Myron when he said that. To me, that was an idiotic statement. That was stupid. I don't care when people may disagree with me. That was a stupid statement to make. But all in all, was it the right move to do certain things that they have created for themselves that will bring a nightmare to them later? And when I say that, right, I say there was a couple of streams they did off of YouTube. And obviously for those who watch my episodes on the podcast, I did discuss a certain stream that they did when one of them dressed as the KKK and acted like a Hitler follower. I said it. I said, these guys may possibly get dropped off for YouTube for this. It could possibly happen. Was that the reason? I don't know. Because I don't know the reason. Like I've been stating during the stream, I don't know the reason. Fresh and Fit have to take their career more seriously, especially when this is your entire money making. Especially when this is your way of life. This is how you make money. You cannot risk it by doing stupid antics, by trying to insult people. It's going to catch up to you because you do not own the company that you're streaming on. Now, if you owned it, then do whatever the hell you want. Do whatever the hell you want. But the fact that you don't own it, the stupid antics that they did the last couple of months, the last 4 to 5 months, were ridiculous. Ridiculous. And they made a lot of enemies. There's no reason to make enemies, especially unnecessary ones. Can they recover? Possibly, maybe. I know if Rumble doesn't pop off, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. If Rumble does not pop off, they are in so much trouble. Like, let's say in 2 weeks, all of you guys and gals, take a look at their Rumbles, see how many subs they have. If it's not over 50K by next week, I'm going to start smelling trouble. It's going to start being trouble. If their Rumble count is not over 50K by next week, they're in trouble. Because if you're having that much trouble bringing so-called loyal fans over to Rumble to follow you, after all of them knowing that you have just lost your capability to make money, then that is a big, big problem. Big problem. Because I know that Fresh and Fit pod clips only have 9.4K followers now, right? And the official Fresh and Fit podcast only has 3.1K followers, right? Only 3.1. It should be way more than that. And there's another channel, right, that they have. It only has 116. I don't even think that's an official Fresh and Fit podcast channel. I don't. I think this is the official one. But all in all, every single one, not one of them is over 10K followers. Not one of them. Despite the announcement being made, no one has rolled over to Rumble. And I'm telling you, if they're not over 50K followers by next week, if I was Myron and Fresh, I would start worrying big time. Big time. There's no reason your so-called loyal fans will have that much trouble in downloading an app and subbing to your channel if there's so-called loyal fans. Let's see what happens. But is this the end of Fresh and Fit? Like I said, it could possibly be the end if I don't see over 50K followers on Rumble by next week. Because this is what I'm saying. Look at Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate. Let's take a look. Andrew Tate has 1.5 million followers on Rumble. 1.5. 1.5. Easy. Easy. He gets 251K likes easily. Easily on his videos. He's highly successful on Rumble. He brings Rumble a lot of money. Highly successful. Now, Fresh and Fit should not have a problem bringing followers over if they are loyal followers to Fresh and Fit. But let's see. Let's see where it goes. But as always, thank you for joining me. This is Black Shy Guy. Like I said, I have a lot of things popping off. I'm moving, I'm moving to a bigger place. I'm going to have I'm going to have my own room for my podcast. Everything is going to just look so much better. I'm going to be able to live better. It's just going to be astronomical. It's going to be astronomical. It's going to be so much better. So much better. And I'm going to get a new table. It's going to be wonderful by the time I move. But anyway, this is Black Shy Guy. As always, I thank you for sitting at my table. Whew, I'm out of here. Peace.
Arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of suicidal maniac.